All right, y'all, I'm back. So what I was talking about earlier is young moms, single moms, married moms, or whatever, and getting advice from people who's, let me tell you, you can learn from other people's mistakes and then you won't have to make them. You understand what I'm saying? So as a young parent, I've always heeded people's advice. You know, whether I wanted to listen to what they had to say or not, first of all, I listen out of respect. And secondly, if they've been through what I've been through, maybe the Lord took them through that and put them in my life to keep me from experiencing some of the hardships they had. But anyway, what I want to talk about is, you know, when you got kids and you're a single mom with one kid, it's not bad. Because you will get that one child your undivided attention. But then when you have two, and I remember one of my friends told me, she said that her son said that he and his wife didn't want to have but two kids because the third kid wouldn't have nobody to, wouldn't have either one of them to themselves. In other words, he could be one place with the boy and she could be one place with the girl, or vice versa. You know, 3 kids, if you got more than one child, there's gonna be the possibility that one gonna feel neglected or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so what I can say about that is this: if you have one child who you show as a favorite, a lot of times what happens is the perception may be favored when that's not what it is. Just like on a job, when you're having to manage people differently based on their personalities and the conceptual skills that they have. Because sometimes you may have 2 people who you could train at the same time. One, you just give them the cash money. Say it's a cashier. You just give them the money, the tray, and they can start ringing up people and remember everything you taught them. And some people you have to keep reiterating and going over, retraining, recoaching. People learn differently. Same like with kids. You may not be able to, you know, raise or parent them the same, but you still have to be fair, firm, and consistent. If one can't do it, the other one shouldn't be able to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So if you discipline one child for doing something, the other child should be disciplined for doing the same thing. Because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times, and I've seen this, what happens is the child who has been treated as the favorite or being perceived as the favorite or being treated superior, what's going to happen? That person is going to have false expectations about life. They're going to think that they're entitled. Sometimes end up being narcissists, self-centered. And the one who was mistreated or who felt in their mind like they were mistreated, going to end up with low self-esteem, feel inferior, not only to the siblings, but to others. I've seen it happen. And so also a lot of times that person who's entitled can't function as an adult in the world because they feel like everybody's gonna bow down. And baby, people are not gonna bow down to you. They're not. They are not. So it's a lot when you're dealing with kids and with personalities and things like that. But, you know, I had a friend. Well, I have a friend. And when I say had, I'm talking in past tense about what I remember her saying. You know what she said? I mistreat all my kids the same. She has five children, and she said and when I first heard her say that, I was like, what? She said, yeah, I mistreat them all the same. So if I mistreat one, I mistreat all, right? So, yeah, you know, not to get too private, like I say, we all learn. But one thing I can say is, make all of your kids be responsible. Give them all chores. Make them, regardless to their personalities, whatever. Everybody needs to, because I'm telling you, if you have that child you spoiled as a kid, when they get older, they're going to be lazy. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. They are going to be lazy. They are going to be lazy. Make them contribute. Make them contribute. And like if you have a grown child that works, make that child give you money. I don't care if you take it and put it in the savings for them that they don't even know about. We have to teach our kids responsibilities, because you know what? The ultimate satisfaction is for your child to be able to get grown and get self-sufficient. Well, for me, I think I want my kids to be self-sufficient. I want to know that if I leave this world, they're totally able to take care of themselves. Yes, that's what I want. And I think that's every parent. Every parent wants to see their kids grown and being a productive member of society. Because the first thing we'll say if they're not, what did I do wrong? Won't we? Because we're human. We're human. But yeah, I wanted to come back on and talk about that, because I've seen it said on some of the, I don't need nobody gonna tell me how to raise my kids. Well, you know what? You might want to reconsider that. You may want to consider the fact that God put people in your life for a reason. And some may just be able to teach you things that you don't, because nobody knows everything. I had to learn. You know, we all do. We know the kids, you could read a book. You can read that book from the introduction to the index. But I'm going to tell you something. You may not be able to parent those kids that way. And then the textbook way to raise one child may not even work with the other one. You understand what I'm saying? My grandson, 3 years old, my daughter happened to be going through her phone. He's taking pictures of her laying up there asleep, and then he lays up there and takes a picture of himself. You can tell that he's sleeping, but he's just mischievous. He is. Just realize that kids have personalities, and they're impressionable, and the things you still instill in them right now will affect the rest of their life. And so if you happen to meet somebody who wants to offer you some advice, I'm not saying you have to listen to and follow everybody's word or whatever, but what I'm telling you is, what you do want to do, you do want to listen. I'm not saying you got to take everybody's advice, but be open to listen. Listen, this is the thing what I learned about people. A lot of people want to hear positive things all the time. They want yes people in their lives. In other words, people that's going to agree with everything. But if somebody really loves you, sometimes the answer is not what you want to hear. And I tell a lot of people that, because listen, if a person cares, they're not going to want to see you self-destruct. I'm telling you. If they care about you, they're going to tell you the truth, even if it's not what you want to hear, even if it hurts. Even if it hurts. And that's just being real. It's being real. And I've learned that I'm one of those, I don't want to be around somebody that agree with everything I say. But I'm like this on the job. If you come to me with a problem, I want you to also have a solution, or have one that you could recommend. That's how we change the world. You know what I'm saying? If you got somebody, all they do is complain, and never have any kind of resolution, I got a problem. But somebody older and wiser want to give you advice, you know, listen, you can learn something, especially if you see that their kids are productive members of society, they're respectful and stuff. I'll even ask somebody, you know, what give me some advice.